Jake, you should have peed before we left. That's the whole Did you not learn that? Okay, well, I'm sorry, Jake. Instead of a Zeta Project related comic, we're actually reading a Justice League comic. I know that's hard to swallow, but you may have to deal with it. As you can see, well, you can't see at all, actually. It's about the Atom and a bunch of microscopic squid monsters or something. I don't know. Anyway, hey everybody, welcome back to Stream Week, Stream Time, Stream Day, whatever. I don't know what to call this anymore. It's not Twitch streams. I'm so used to saying Twitch streams. If you're watching on Twitch, then it's a Twitch stream, but you're probably not. Just being real. Speaking of which, we're hopefully going to be transitioning off of Twitch decently soon. As soon as we can get our final payout from Twitch for the running ads and people subscribing and stuff like that, we're probably just going to switch over to straight YouTube only. So just be prepared for that if you're over on Twitch. If you want to keep watching these, they'll be on YouTube Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday, and whenever I decide to draw, and whenever I decide to play Batman Arkham City, etc., etc. But yeah, it should be easy to join us over on YouTube. It's the place where you were in the first place. Speaking of which, all of these streams are archived over on our new Podtower channel. I do not have a custom URL for that yet, and I can't paste it into the chat yet because we're still doing this double stream thing that doesn't like chat for some reason. But just look up The Podtower on YouTube. You'll find it. Go subscribe over there. That's where we're going to be archiving every stream. We also have every episode of Tim Talk and working on getting every episode of the DCAU review up there. Including an episode of the DCAU review that Maddie just recently guest starred on. They did a thing called Discuss This League, where they just talked about the potential Batman the Animated Series revival. I realized this whole time I wasn't showing a goddamn thing. The Podtower, check it out. This is our second channel, as I'm saying. This Discuss This League episode is what Maddie guest starred on recently. And it was pretty fun to listen to. Kind of a different format than you might be used to. It was a much more what do you want to say? A organized format, I guess, than you might be used to with like 12th level intellects or whatever, where we're always just talking over the top of each other. It was more like a round table, like, and what would you like to say now kind of thing, which was especially listening to it with Maddie on was a bit interesting to see him have to conform to only talking when he was asked if he talked. But anyway, we're going to be reading Justice League Unlimited 3 today. As asked before, I believe there are 40-something, maybe 46 issues of this comic, but for some reason DC Universe Infinite, which is an oxymoronical name change, only has the first 35 issues, I think. So once we get to that point, we'll have to figure something out. But we'll get to that when we get to that. Can you ask why? Are you talking about, oh yeah, is it okay to watch both places? Yeah, I mean, so the main reason why we started doing Twitch streams in the first place is because we wanted to do this content, but we figured every time that we upload a very long podcast episode or just whatever, a video that's like an hour and a half, it tended to get a lot fewer views than we normally get, I guess. So because of that, the algorithms of YouTube that are completely impossible to understand would kind of hurt us for like, hey, it looks like not as many people are watching you anymore. I'm not going to suggest your other videos to people as much as I used to. So to try to compensate for that, we decided, okay, if we're going to do these long form content, let's just do it on Twitch. We'll make a Twitch channel. I'm sure we can get people over there from YouTube. And it was going okay for a while. I mean, we cultivated a decent little following over there, and I like the everybody that's watching over there right now or was watching, for the last year or so, that was awesome. But it's just not really happening over there. We're not getting a lot of interest, and this is our full-time jobs essentially right now, so we have to make some money off of this. This just becomes part of it. So since that wasn't really happening and isn't really happening, we're just switching it back to YouTube, slowly transitioning back. But we're not going to be. Oh, thank you for subscribing, the movie buff, or followed. Yeah, I know what you're doing. I know the words. But anyway, yeah. So doing them on YouTube, back to YouTube, because our audience is already here, that we've been building for 5 years. But we're not going to be storing them here on this channel. It will be archiving them on the Pod Tower, like I talked about, because that way Pod Tower is completely for that purpose. Any robots examining the Pod Tower are not going to be confused why people are only watching this content or this content. It's all relatively the same viewage. So yeah, long story short, not making enough money on Twitch, coming back to YouTube. I switched to YouTube and they started showing them on YouTube. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty easy to just come back here, but yeah, probably, Jake. You probably have been here for 5 years. I'm not exactly sure. Maddie said I could be in another video. Oh yeah, I'm sure you will be. We have an idea for that, definitely. What are micro squid creatures, if not the Zetas of the microverse? You're very accurate. That's very true. When is the Zeta Project Adventures coming out? I wish I could tell you. I'm subbing to the Pod Tower. Thank you, Boba Fett. And Karsten. Wait, if you transfer, I have to use all of my channel points. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've never understood the bits system or any sort of system over on Twitch whatsoever. So apologies if for some reason that's going to be inconvenient for you, but just come over here instead on YouTube. Which is funny because I watch Alana Pierce on Twitch and YouTube, and she just partnered with Twitch, so she's now exclusively streaming to Twitch. And she was just talking about the same thing, that I don't know how bits work or how how any of these subscriptions or follows or anything like that work. So if she didn't know, I definitely don't know. It's much easier to keep track of YouTube stuff. YouTube's been around since 2005. I've been using it since like day 2 that it existed. Just watched for the first time Gods and Monsters. I want a damn sequel. Yeah, me too. It's a good movie. I've got it on Blu-ray. It's one of the only non-DCAU animated DC movies that I own. I would have sent another super chat, but I had to pay H&R Block for my taxes. Thanks, Jake. Yeah, I need to get started on tax stuff too. I think Google has my previous address still, so I have to figure out how to make sure that, or they did up until recently, so I have to make sure that gets to here. Is this vid being saved on YouTube? It will be on the Pod Tower. The Pod Tower is our second channel that we just started, and it is where we're archiving all the streams. So look for the Pod Tower. P-O-D Tower. We just got a message on the Watchtower database Facebook this morning. It was clearly not someone who speaks English, so I shouldn't make fun of it too much, but it was just like, hello, and then our automated, thank you for contacting the Watchtower database. An admin will reply to your message, and blah, blah, blah. And then it just said, what is a Watchtower? What? And I really wanted to I wanted to just leave it completely nothing, no response, but I did send just a link to the channel, so hopefully that answers their question. But anyway, everything's going good. This issue was written by Adam Beechin. He wrote the last couple issues, and I think he wrote the next several after this one that we're reading today. Also, you might know his name from some of the Earth 12 Batman Beyond comics. So he's pretty educated in this world, though so far it hasn't been like a problem, I guess. You would think maybe like, oh, he's got a skewed view of the DCAU because he ended up writing these comics that were kind of half and half continuity wise, but haven't had an issue big enough I don't think. I guess the first issue we had Hawkgirl back in her costume, but I think that's probably kind of easy to overlook between the production of the show and the comic. They might not have known they were going to do that or whatever. I was going to say he's at Sonova, supposedly, on Twitter. Last time I was trying to figure out if this was like Sonova or whatever. Maddie had suggested Sonova, but I will have you know, Sonova is actually spelled like this, as you can see in Legacies of the DCAU number 10. If you haven't checked out the new issue yet, legacesdcau.com, it's over there. No more spoilers. And then it's drawn by Carlo Barberi, this JLU issue, not Legacies. Carlo Barberi, he's on Instagram as Carlo Barberi. He does a lot more realistic artwork than you normally would see in this kind of thing. But if you look around his site, you will see eventually, I know there's a couple of them in here that were a little closer to the style that you'll see in the comic. Where did they go? Something like this kind of a thing. This is still bordering a little more realistically, but more cartoony. I talked about last time, I find it interesting that they chose him. There we go. I mean, here's a page from issue 1, I think. Interesting that they chose him to do this. Looking at his other art, you wouldn't necessarily think like, yep, this is the guy to have do our Justice League Unlimited comic. But it's good stuff. He's good at his job. So yeah, let's get into it. Let's read the comic. At the end of this comic, there are a couple of stories from Adventures in the DC Universe. I'm going to skip over those for now because I think that's the next one I'm going to tackle after the JLU comic is over, so I don't want to just repeat them like, oh, we already did this or whatever. It would save a day, instead of reading those later, I combine them into this one, but I'm just gonna go with this. You should say Pod Tower in every sentence just so people know Pod Tower. How's your baby, Pod Tower? It's good, Pod Tower. He was looking for the Jehovah's Witness Pod Tower Facebook page. Yeah, maybe Pod Tower. Is this Pod Tower the issue where Bruce knocks up Pod Tower Barbara? Pod Tower might be, but I'm not Pod Tower sure. I'm having a DCAU marathon Pod Tower because of your guys' video on how to watch and read every Pod Tower DCAU form of media. Cool. That's awesome. Glad that influenced Pod Tower U to do that. Sonova Beachin. Son of a Beachin. I understand. I Pod Tower get it. How are you, Pod Tower James? I'm good, Pod Tower. How's your Pod Tower kid? He's good, Pod Tower. Are you going to do character artwork afterwards this time? Good question. Probably not. I don't know when I'll get back into that, and I don't know when I'll do the next Batman headshots drawing, but hopefully within the next week or two. The least amount of time I can spend on these, if I can keep it under an hour, that's perfect for these issue readings and breakdowns now that I have a lot less time in every day to make sure I can get the weekly Pod Tower video done. Fair Pod Tower enough. All right, let's Pod Tower get started. I'm not going to do that for the comic. Oh, this one and this one. There we go. Adam? What Small time. These people. And those people. Adam, what happened? Roll call. Adam. Firestorm. Ice. Wonder Woman. Are you alright? The meeting room. Did I make it? How long have I been out? Man, you just got here. We were just about to start our meeting, then boom! Instant superhero centerpiece. Then maybe there's still time. Follow me back to the lab. You can't say Firestorm doesn't sound like that because he never said anything. He wasn't in the show. Back to the lab? Time to do what? Adam, slow down. Tell us what we're facing. Something that threatens our entire reality. I traveled to our... meeting by satellite phone relay like I always do. I jumped out of the computer data stream and saw I was the first one here. I came to the lab to do a little work before the meeting. And I heard something funny, a high-frequency whine. I can still hear it. I don't hear anything. That's because you haven't spent countless hours at microscopic size. After a while, your hearing becomes accustomed to all sorts of different sounds. I shrunk myself down to a ½ centimeter to investigate, and I found the source of the whine behind the Phantom Zone projector. The what? It's a machine used by Kryptonians to send criminals into a limbo dimension. Oh no, Atom's right. We've got ants. Someone must have brought them up on the teleporter. I bet it was Booster Gold. I can't really keep this up. Ice. They're too small to be ants, and ants don't whine. Those aren't ants. I found a tear in the very fabric of our dimension, just large enough for them to fit through. Who, Adam? Who are they? They're colonizers, Wonder Woman, an other dimensional army. I saw millions of them through the rift, billions, just waiting to come through. The first wave of invaders kept me occupied as the second wave started constructing a device of sorts, I assumed to widen the rift so the entire army could come through. I barely escaped. I knew I had to get help. If the invaders get that projector set up and widen the rift, there'll be too many of them to stop. Ever. This might be a stupid question, but couldn't we just, step on them? Or use the Phantom Zone thingy to poof them and their stuff away? Do you know how to seal an interdimensional rift? Because I don't. We're going to need their equipment. Stupid question. Thanks. Okay, we're ready. Ready for what? Thanks to this machine, these devices will receive the signals from my belt controller that allow me to shrink and grow. Once we're all down to size, we can take the battle to the invaders. Now, you've all been shrunk down before, right? This is like an endgame, like, who's all been to space kind of moment. Wonderful, great. Well, there's no time to train you for your first shrink, so I'll just have to fill you in on the little things as we go along. First lesson, when you start shrinking, blow out all the breath you have. How come? Because your lungs are going to shrink with the rest of you, and there's a lot of air in there when they start getting smaller. And if there's a lot of air in there when they start getting smaller, boom. Big exhale. Right, got it. Check. Alright, everybody. Like the wise man once said, let's get small. What? That was a cool panel. Great, Hera! Lesson 2, Vertigo. Pretty common for the first few trips. Just look at the floor, Ice. No problem. We've got a lot of ground to cover, so let's get moving. Ice, keep your eyes closed for now. No problem. Dude, this is so beyond weird. There's the Phantom Zone projector. Let's set down on that side of it. At the floor. Look at the floor. Look at... Okay, people, here's the deal. Firestorm, focus. First order of business is closing that rift. Oh, I guess he's whispering. Then we can deal with however many of the invaders have come into our dimension so far. Adam, Wonder Woman, you and Ice keep the advanced team of colonizers busy. Firestorm, provide air support. I'll sneak through to their control panel and try to... Adam. Oh, it's Ice. Hera, grant us strength. Dude. Hang loose, Adam. One nuclear bolt should have you free and no... Firestorm, wait! You may have shrunk, but your powers haven't. The recoil on your blast has magnified. Shrak! 1,000,000-fold! Ting! And that would be lesson 3. Adam, perhaps you could assist us. Please don't swing me around. I'm I'm entertaining myself too much with it. Sorry. Let me just increase my mass to something with a little more kick. Tham. Thank you, Adam. I don't believe this creature will be of any more trouble to us. And this should chill out his buddies. Look at the floor, look at the floor. Yeah, something I forgot to tell about these guys. They don't just walk on the floor. There are too many of them. We need help. Where's Firestorm when you need him? Ooh, I'm never flying that airline again. Air Luthor is what I'm talking about. Back to business, Firestorm. Your buddies can't take those interdimensional slime bags on their own. Only problem is the perspective's all out of whack. Hard to get my bearings. Okay, that helps. Keep pushing, Wonder Woman. They're about to widen that rift. Too many. Too many. Hang on, Wonder Woman. Help is on the yoop. They're getting ready to fire it up. I can't leave you people alone for 3 minutes. Zam. Good work, Firestorm. Now, if I can just make sense of these controls, your best guess would be appreciated, Adam. We seem to be out of time. Guessing isn't in the physicist's vocabulary, Wonder Woman, but in this case, I don't think there's much choice. Wunch. Fzam. It worked! That's great and everything. Oh, no. That's great and everything, but what about the aliens that missed the last ride home? Oof. Firestorm, grab ice and get airborne. Can do, boss man. Wonder Woman, can you herd the remaining aliens together? Without question. Kawam! Firestorm, swing the Phantom Zone projector around and down. Ice, activate the machine. Anything you say. Don't hurl, don't hurl, don't hurl. Fazam, click, wing, shh. Take cover. Zam. Whew, those buggers were harder to get rid of than my needy than my meaty ex-girlfriend. Nevertheless, we succeeded, thanks to Adam's expertise. Well, this little guy couldn't have done it without some big help from his friends. I vote we grow up and celebrate. Good idea. Let's round up ice and... Lesson 4, never eat a bean and cheese burrito before shrinking. Check. The end! Exclamation mark. What are you guys saying in the chat? Let's take a look. Oh boy, lots of stuff. Okay. I hope you get back to drawing. I paid you to paint me. Yeah, dude, I'm gonna do it. Don't worry about it. Calm down. James is having a stroke. I quit. The quitting table returns. Yeah, emblems on the chairs. Yep, I noticed that. Yeah, Ice Baby. I like the idea of there being separate multiverses for each specific medium to cut down on plot points. That's definitely a leading theory here, yeah. Ice speaking? Not canon. Yeah, pretty much. That roll call font looks familiar. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Firestorm sounds different than I would have guessed. Yeah. Is this the explanation then? Them emblem chairs go with the quitting table. I like the ice voice though. Thank you, thank you. The only original 6 members can quit. I like fire and ice, especially fire. Must be Booster. She is cool. Ha ha ha. You can't help being a jackass. Fish gotta swim and such. If the problem was the Phantom Zone projector, maybe they should have called in Superman or Dr. Hamilton, assuming this was pre-Cadmus. Yeah, I don't really know why that. I mean, it's probably just an emergency or whatever. Put a box around it. You gave Ice a funny voice. Thanks, man. Who's the best sidekick in the DCAU? Robin, Jimmy Olsen, Max Gibson, Rosalind, Roe, or Richie Foley? I mean, sidekick-wise, I think Robin and Gear are like the only ones that I would... Maybe Roe, I guess. I guess you're just trying to find one per show. I don't know. I like Robin, dude. I'm basic. The breath thing seems like a design flaw. Yeah, I thought he was going to say some sort of like, just kidding about that, but he didn't. I've shrank to a couple centimeters before. You're a horrible Firestorm. Thank you. I'm giving the shrinking point to Pim. Yeah. I agree. DCAU not canon. James, you are good at sound effects. Thanks. Where is Ice from again? I'm pretty sure she's from Norway. Look at the floor. Yep. I don't think Ronnie Raymond's sound is southern. Yeah, I told you up front, dude. You can't prove he's not, because this is a DCAU version that we've never seen before. It's like Danish. So Adam didn't tell them anything before leading them into danger. Yeah. Rule number 0. Don't tell them any of the rules. I love Watchtower debates. Thank you. I love you. Needy ex-girlfriend, Killer Frost reference? Yeah, probably. That's a good point. It's quite entertaining. Happy Leaf Erickson. Yeah, pretty much. Just League International. God bless Maxwell Lord. Another broke Lex Luthor. Hey James. Hey Ranger 8. And I'm just gonna throw this out there and crack the egg. Does the Justice Society exist in the DCAU? I did a video way back when, 2017 or something, on it's called like Wonder Woman Myth, Legend, or something like that. It's about whether, about Lois Lane saying Wonder Woman in a Superman episode before Wonder Woman should exist. And that talks about the Justice Society. So go check that out. Okay, so here we are. We're going to go back to the start of the issue. We're going to take some notes on every appearance and all that stuff, as we always do. So we got the, oh gosh, the Atom. We got Wonder Woman. Is there a Justice League International team that includes these 4 people specifically, or are you just kind of referring to Ice being there as a reference to that? Lois Lane is Wonder Woman. That's true. I'm Wonder Woman. Is there a Bob? I think you said the font looked familiar. I don't know. I was just doing a what's it called? Mystery Science Theater joke when I said that stuff. Now we have, pretty sure Ice doesn't have this ice-shaped boob window. I think that's supposed to be colored white. Oh no, she does. She totally does. Okay, I was wrong. Guess I'm a fake fan. Okay, we have Ice and Firestorm. Ooh, yeah, Ice Firestorm. I wonder if they wanted to put Ice and Fire in this, and then someone said like, no, not just Fire, Firestorm. I think it's the original. Oh yeah, it kind of does look like that, like Wonder Woman logo. I think I know what you're talking about, if I can find it. Yeah, this stuff here is what you're talking about, right? Are there letters that overlap here? Maybe the M. Yeah, it's pretty close. The O and the M. Yeah, I think that is basically the same font. That's kind of cool. I'll write that down just as a little nifty thing. Roll call font very similar to original Wonder Woman logo. Then we have logos on backs of chairs as a non-canon thing. If you don't know what I'm talking about with that, you never see them on the chairs in the show, and then Flash mentions in Divided We Fall, I got a seat at the big conference table. I'm going to paint my logo on it, insinuating that the logos are not already on the chairs. But yeah. James, you need to spend more time staring at Ice's boot. Apparently. What up? Hey, I'm good. Pretty sure Bruce Wayne had to take a loan for this new satellite. Probably. The other on the live stream told me to ask you. The other. I told him the Beyond suit in the case was yellow because it was changing. It was charging in the case. I mean, think about it. It runs on servos and need power. I wish we'd ever seen it light up like that. Hello over there at the YouTube stream. Hello. Maybe this is the small or medium conference table. I mean, we already saw that it was like on the bridge, weirdly, in the first issue. Where'd it go? Yeah, Justice League round tables on the bridge. Could be a different table. Probably hadn't shown the meeting room in the cartoon yet. Aussie Dragoon, who is here, suggests this is the formal quitting table. Captain Marvel just didn't know the protocol. What was the thing said about the quitting table on this one? I can't remember. I read it 2 minutes ago, but I forgot. What are your thoughts on new Mortal Kombat? Looks pretty cool. I'm not like a huge Mortal Kombat, like, oh my god, I love Mortal Kombat, like, fan, but I don't know, it looks fun. I like the ice pick out of blood stabby thing, that was cool. Don't talk about the yellow bat suit. I mean, you could just choose not to anyway. They have conference tables all over the Watch. Yeah, they have one in every room, yeah. Okay. So, what did he say anything here? Nope, Adam, what happened? Okay. The meeting room. Did I make it? We were just about to start our meeting. So, I guess maybe this... But, I mean, look at this. This has Flash, Superman. There's a Green Lantern symbol on this one. And they're next to, like, the teleporters. So even if there is, like, a separate meeting room that any Justice Leaguer can be a part of, why is it still just, like, the founding members on the chairs? Like, you can't sit with us. They'll have to if there's only 6 chairs. Yeah. Open a can of worms and that random man in the brown trench coat and jail you is Rorschach. Could be. Someone who has an idea to spend channel points. Someone who has an idea. Someone who has an idea. Who has an idea to spend? I don't know. What else? What's on this page? Nothing else. Back to the lab. Adam's ears are colored blue, which they shouldn't be. I'm just saying. They're just normal ears. Thank you very much. Alright. We got Watchtower. There's also Moon. Watchtower Lab, I guess. Watchtower Meeting Room, I'll put, even though Watchtower Lab. I guess I can put that up here. Oh, I put Watchtower 2 up there. Okay, so Watchtower Meeting Room. Yeah, I'll do the same thing here. Watchtower 2. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Watchtower 2. See, I'm pretty sure they had, in number 2, they had this meeting room where they were playing poker. And that was not on the bridge. That was like the one from the actual show. So who knows? I traveled to our meeting by satellite phone relay like I always do. Which is interesting since they have teleporters. I just teleport him. But also it's sort of similar to the Flash doing that thing where he accidentally turned into a flat 2D fax paper thing in Justice League Adventures. I jumped out of the computer data stream. It's interesting how Firestorm doesn't look like his action figure. Yeah, this action figure here, pretty different from how he looks in this comic. Here's my rendering of that, and you can see the side-by-side here. Very different, especially the logo. Like, he looks like a big pepperoni pizza here. I definitely like the black costume with the red highlights. The red, what do you call it? Rim lighting or whatever. This was another thing. This popped up. Steve Jones did a bunch of model sheets for JLU. And I don't remember what this was for. Like I don't think I've ever figured out what it was for. It looks sort of Justice League action-ish, but it's not. It's like from back in the day. And then we've also got the Firestorm design from Crisis on Two Earths, which would theoretically be this same Firestorm. I mean, I guess, you know, this guy's white, but if you think hard, if you squint hard enough, they may be the same guy. I don't know. Firestorm, DCAU Firestorm is a little bit confusing. Okay, the Phantom Zone projector looks absolutely nothing like it should. So I don't know what's going on here. But I will write Phantom Zone projector. All right, Phantom Zone projector looks nothing like it does in the cartoons. It's a machine used by Kryptonians to send criminals into a limbo dimension. So Krypton is mentioned, Phantom Zone is mentioned, and Kryptonians mentioned. I've been putting, like, if someone says Martians, I'll usually put that Mars is mentioned because it's essentially part of the word. I bet it was oh, that's what she said. I bet it was Booster Gold. Okay, so we have Booster Gold mentioned. I'm thinking this. Let's see. January 2005. When did Dark Heart air? No, the episode. The episode. December 11th, 2004. Okay, so this came out after Dark Heart aired, which makes sense since the Atom smashes the controls console or whatever in this, just like he does in that episode. There tend to be a lot of that kind of thing going on. Like last issue was the Royal Flush Gang in Las Vegas. Like, oh, how original! That's what they did in the episode. Or they're just kind of just reusing the same concepts. But anyway, okay, and we've got the I'm going to call them Microscopic Invaders. Because if I just call them the Invaders, how are you going to tell them apart from the alien invaders? You know what I mean? The non-Imperium. They're colonizers, an other dimensional army. I saw millions of them. Okay, am I the only one weirded out by the fact that Adam or everybody here pretty soon can fly when they're tiny? Like, what is the physics behind that? Why can they just fly because they're tiny? Are they just jumping? Are they like Hulk jumping? What's going on here? Why is this happening? Let's see. Wait, how far back? Yeesh. Why do they always sit at the table in each of these issues? They have like a lounge or cafeteria to hang out. Yeah, I don't know. There's the quitting table, the table where Ollie and Dinah do things with a very loose definition of justice, the table where Batman does his taxes, the table Shining Knight sits out alone in the dark. I think most of the tables are that last one. All other members of the Justice League has to stand up at all meetings. Yeah. Excuse me, does your chair have a Green Lantern logo on it? Get the hell out. Or did you know what I'm saying. It's like if the Atom was in Superman's spot, it would be like Sheldon in Big Bang Theory. I don't know the reference. Sorry. There's the table of contents and the periodic table. Yeah. Batman gets a standing desk. Hopefully we never see John Henry Irons again. He's such a kiss ass. Oh, how rude of you. That's because a color design is darker. I don't know. Jason is canon, so is Damian canon. I don't see the correlation of why one would equal the other. Since he looks like a pepperoni pizza, you should have given him an Italian accent. I didn't think of it ahead of time. Oh well. I don't know if I could juggle such a perfect Norwegian accent with a an Italian accent. James, can you code, since you have in the past you talked about at the DCAU website? I would not consider myself. I can do very, very basic HTML. I made the Legacies website out of tables, so you can see how that's not very advanced. You're getting confused. That's Ronnie Raymond, and that no, I understand the difference between. I'm just saying, Crisis on Two Earths is like barely not canon to the DCAU. So if Firestorm is there, Firestorm is here. You see what I'm talking about. A limbo dimension. Damn, League, how low can you go? That's what I was thinking too. This projector sends people to the limbo dimension instead of the Phantom Zone. Eternal limbo dancing is a lot worse. I would agree with that. Hush, LOL, and Brainiac Attacks is canon to the DCAU. Please do a ranking of the Legion of Doom characters. I do want to do a Legion of Doom membership / PokeRap, so hopefully that'll be a thing this year sometime. We have a lot of videos planned already for this year. Microscopic Imperium. No fly, jump good. Yeah, it's falling with style, probably. Wait, is John Constantine DCAU? We've never seen him, just a Bruce Timm drawing. James is Elite Hacksaw. That's very true. That is what is in my LinkedIn bio. How to get my buddy into the DCAU comics? Which one should I start reading? I think the first one I read was Batman Adventures Volume 2, which takes place during Justice League, because I was big into Justice League before I really got super into the other ones. So I think that might be a good place to start, because it's Batman, but it's also got it's really well written. It's got a lot of cameos from characters from Justice League, stuff like that. I'm not sure why, Saz for Cheese, why every once in a while your messages start with DCAU wah, not canon, or whatever. I don't know what you're doing there. It's 7:45 here in Australia. In the morning or anything? I don't know. Okay. Phantom Zone thingy. Ready for what? Wonderful, great. There's no time to train you if your first shrink. Okay. Alright. Let's get Smolgerous. Darkwing Duck. Great Hera. Hey, we got a Hera. Lesson 2, Count Vertigo. Oh, okay. No problem. We've got a lot of ground to cover. Phantom Zone Projector. This is so Batman Beyond weird. Look at the floor. It's also like the floor. What is this texture on the floor? It's like one of those like bird repeating images where like the negative space is also a bird going the other direction. It looks very strange. I kind of wanted the tentacle thing to reach around and just like point and hit him on the shoulder, but no. Nerk. Okay, not a lot of new stuff to write down in this issue, just a bunch of the same. I mean, there's these guys, grant us strength, nuclear bolt. Oh boy. Yeah, this shrinking technology of Adam's really sucks. Like, you just can't do anything. I guess because he made it for himself and not other superheroes, but whatever. Increases mass. It's an idea from Dark Heart. This creature. This should chill out his buddies. Okay, I'm gonna write down other time I include. Adam does a decent amount of similar actions to his from Dark Heart. Perhaps he learned from that, and this is after that. If we can ever line them up, doing my best. Like I talked about before, we have I think 2 more Willet cannons on the docket before we switch up the format, because our story will have come to a conclusion. And the new format I want to do with Will It Canon after that is, if something turns out to be not canon, which is almost always the case, then we spend the second half of the video, or at least a good portion of it, trying to fit it into the DCAU. Like, how could we make it work? What would we have to change, or how could we force it in? Because people get a little too. We started Will It Canon because it seemed like a fun time, and it is. But I think people get a little too caught up in it. We haven't done a Will It Canon in over a year, and was still the question we get on like every other tweet we do. Is like, look at this funny picture of Batman, but Will It Canon? Like, I don't care. It's not really a question. We're not going to do an episode on that. I know. I appreciate people getting involved. I'm not complaining really, but it's just funny to see that. Yeah, we'll definitely. There will be a lot more Will It Canon episodes. Oh gosh, let's see what's going on here. It's the custom emoji from your Twitch channel. Oh, okay. Got it. It just translates weird here, I guess. Washington is not canon to the DCAU, duh. I don't know what that means, Bob. Using emoji, yeah, I see this. James is an Imperium. I am the Imperium, the one guy. Oh, sorry, I'm just sending a smiley. She said the thing, yeah. I'm just saying we don't have these kinds of problems with pin particles, yeah. Who do you think is the most intelligent villain in the DCU? Lex Luthor, Brainiac, or Gorilla Grodd, or Dr. Destiny? Dr. Destiny being on there is an interesting choice. Not him. Grodd, Luthor, or Brainiac? I think Brainiac is technically gotta be the most intelligent because, I mean, I guess, are we basing intelligence on, like, street smarts or book smarts? Because Brainiac has, like, downloaded the information of hundreds of planets, so like there's no way that a human brain could process all of that. But Lex Luthor is smartest man, Hank Pym is a better scientist than Ray Palmer. Yes, okay. Is that the Washington thing? I don't understand, Bob. What are you talking about? Is the Snyder Cut canon to the DCAU? Yes. So when are you going to get Nitro back, huh? I don't know what you're talking about, Rob. If this is a Discord thing, I barely pay attention to Discord at all. Intelligence versus knowledge or something. Yeah. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Walking on the floor, walking on broken glass. Might as well be walking on the sun, if you ask me. There's too many of them. Ooh. Never flying Air Luthor again. His bearings, okay. Widen the rift. Help is on the Yoop. Is this like a structure, I guess? This is like a thing they're building. So let's see. Microscopic stronghold. I like the word stronghold as a villainous base, castle kind of thing, just because of Warcraft. I can't leave you people alone for 3 minutes. Oh man. Is this a confirmation that Firestorm says, I can't leave you people alone for 3 minutes. Confirmation. It took him 3 minutes to recover from knocking himself out. Okay. Not that really matters. That's the linchpin of the whole timeline, is the 3 minutes that Firestorm was unconscious. This reminds me of Picard. That's all. Guessing the vocabulary, he just smashes the computer thing like he did in Dark Heart, which this is also sort of a similar looking thing to Dark Heart, I think. Here's not much choice. Whoosh. Activate the machine. Yeah, I mean, why does it look like this? Like, is DC Comics Phantom Zone Projector? Is this like they looked up what it looks like in other... I don't even see another obvious shape of a thing. Like, this is the only other thing. And this comes up like third. I mean, this was 16 years ago. But still, I don't know. Why would you not draw it the way it's on the show? I don't understand. Take cover. Harder to get rid of than my needy ex-girlfriend. Okay. Killer Frost mentioned. I'm gonna put question mark because don't know for sure. Little guy could have blah 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 blah. Okay, yeah, not a lot going on in that issue in terms of like stuff to write down. But this is kind of fun. I remember when this comic first came out, I was very like kind of hesitant to check it out because I had seen stuff about, you know, Firestorm's in there, Power Girl's in there, which we'll eventually get to. Also, interesting that the cover totally said that it included those Adventures in the DC Universe stories, and they're not in here on this digital version, so that's interesting. But yeah, I kind of avoided this comic originally, this series, just because I could, you know, it seemed like, oh, kind of obvious that it wasn't canon or whatever. But definitely not as bad or whatever. Like there's those continuity hiccups, but they're, you know, this isn't enough. Logos on the back of the chairs. Phantom Zone Projector looks nothing like in cartoons. You could wrap your head around, yeah, some weird thing about there's multiple meeting rooms or there's multiple Phantom Zone projectors or something like that. It's iffy, but it is something that does not necessarily decanonize it. But on the other hand, besides all that stuff, like so far I'm liking this comic. It's not so bad. Before I go, I'll mention a little bit of a tease for something. I am making a full list of every single DCAU style book that has ever been released. So far, there are 443 entries on this list. I had my own list going of where is it? Of all of the Capstone books that I've been collecting. If you've seen on my Twitter, I've been retweeting them as Watchtower database. Little green check marks every time another batch of them comes in the mail. But I'd been making this list basically solely off of ones that I had found on Amazon or eBay or whatever. Like, there was no... I was not going off of any official list of any kind. It was just like, you know, oh, there's 2 more in the suggested books. I'll add those to the list. And I would just keep doing that until I felt like I had seen all of them come up. But I finally contacted Capstone and asked them, you know, can I get a full list of all of your DC releases, and kind of explain like who I am, what I do, why they should send it to me. And they did send it to me. But their list was missing 19 books that I have on here. So it's like, who has the actual list? Why there's no actual list? So I took it upon myself. I took their spreadsheet that they sent over to me. That's all these green ones that I've already bought so far. These ones with red next to them are ones that were not on their list, but that I either have on my bookshelf right over there or are on my list of ones to buy and stuff like that. So it's just bizarre to me that this happened at some point, like somehow. I don't know. Like who who made that list? How did they forget 19 books? But anyway, I just decided I'm going to. I made that list. I'm adding to it as new ones are announced, and I've gone back and the first 134 of these, with more to be added, is every single novel, picture book, coloring book, pop-up book, book on tape, blah blah blah, movie adaptation that's ever been released since 1992. So what I'm hoping is that once I have finished adding in all the coloring books and everything, and I think I'm at a point where I'm done with this list, I'm going to publish it on the Watchtower Database website for anybody out there that wants to collect these themselves, or just to take a look at how many friggin' books there are. Maybe, you're someone that already has a bunch of these or had them as a kid or something, and you want to like, oh yeah, I remember that one and stuff. But yeah, I mean, this, it's kind of one of those things that's just annoying. Like, why am I the one that has to do this? So, including some ones that are coming up, this Batman Scooby-Doo Mysteries, which you can see I've pre-ordered, orange meaning that I've ordered it. And these, we got an Instagram message recently from somebody that was showing us that there are 4 upcoming books under the DC. Well, I'm getting a phone call in the middle of this from an Astoria number where I live. I don't know what that is. Anyway, I'm gonna stop that. Stop. Anyway, they're under the title of DC Superhero Fairy Tales, and it looks like they're only going to be released in the UK, or at least they're being released early in the UK, which then makes me, of course, think how many others of these have only been released in the UK, and why do I not know about them? So anyway, that's just a thing that I'm working on that'll hopefully be published somewhere pretty soon if you guys want to take a look. A lot of these books, you'll see there are like question mark 1992 and stuff like that, because I don't know the day and month that it came out, but a lot of all the capstone ones that they sent over had the exact month and day that they came out, which was really helpful for me to keep these all in the right order. But I've, listed them out by the type of book, the publisher, the imprint, the date they came out, the series they're from, and the title. So you can, once you can access this, you'll be able to order it however you want, so that you can see like, oh, I just want to see the Batman books, or I just want to see all books that came out in 1994 or something, whatever. But yeah, that's the thing that I'm working on. Figured I'd show it to you guys. Let's go through the chat here real quick before we finish up this puppy. I've got a voicemail. You guys want to hear the voicemail? I'm not going to play the voicemail. He has to be the most intelligent. He has brain in his name. Yeah. Is Legacies canon to the DCAU? Sure. Is Watchtower Database canon to the DCAU? No. Walking on the Sun, Smash Mouth official canon to the yes. He counted the 180 seconds. Yes. We've known that ever since All Stars issue. Very true. Of course the stories aren't there. This is DC Universe Finite, yeah. Look, you're really live this time. I don't know what that means. I guess you're talking about Maddie, because Maddie was accidentally live for like an extra 8 hours or something. How many are actually canon? How many what, Rob? 440, the books? That's gonna be part of the new format of Will It Canon eventually. Is I want to do like a Will It Canon bite size or some smaller short form version where I just either tackle one book at a time or one little chunk of them at a time, like little series like the Green Lantern ones. Are they canon? Stuff like that. That's part of the reason I'm getting them all. What a teaser, James, said everyone. Makes you think that maybe there is more than that out there. Yeah, I agree. They're fakes. Hi, Digital Jedi Master. I've seen you on Discord, and great job on the last issue. Yeah, he's right. That's cool. Looking forward to those lists being out. All-Stars issue was not canon, though, was it? I don't remember. Will the Snyder Cut canon? Absolutely. Okay, well, that's it. Thank you for joining me, everybody. I'll see you on next Tuesday. Unless I decide to not do it. Okay, I'm going to be doing these a little more relaxed. Hopefully I can still get to it every Tuesday, but lots going on right now, of course. So if you don't see me on a Tuesday, I'm not dead. I'm just sleeping. And Wednesdays are Ted He's starting. Oh God, I think he's starting the Sega Game Gear version of Adventures of Batman and Robin this week. I think that's what he told me. And Thursday is more Secret Origins with Matty. So, yeah, that's it. See you guys later. Bye. Subscribe to the Pod Tower, or else.